How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode. We are looking to hit the gold mine today. I am at Gander Mountain. As I'm sure many of you know, Gander Mountains have been going out of business for quite a long time. They just bumped up all their clearance to, I think, minimum 50%, maybe 70%. My friend Jack said a couple days ago he went into a Gander Mountain near him in Cincinnati and just loaded up, just stocked up on a bunch of amazing baits for basically, I think he said it was 50% off, might be up to 70%. I don't know. They're kind of weird with their discounts and how much is assigned to which, as in like lines, baits, rods, all that. So I don't really know what's going to be in this Gander Mountain. I don't know if there's even bass gear left. I don't know if it's only like crankbaits. I don't know if it's only terminal tackle. Basically, I have no idea what's going to be in this Gander Mountain, but I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try to stick, if I can find a rod and reel, I want to try to stick it to around 50 bucks for everything, like rod, reel, line, lures. But if there's no bass stuff, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to get panfish stuff. If they don't have rods, I don't know. I'm going to try to make it work. Basically, I'm just going to go in there and see what we got to work with in this almost completely cleared out Gander Mountain. So I just did a quick walkthrough. They do have bass baits, but they're very limited. It looks like they only have crankbaits and hard baits. I did not see any soft plastics. Saw some line, saw some terminal tackle. Those things are all giant salmon trolling rods. That's not gonna work. But these, there's a 14-foot ultralight for 22 bucks. 14 feet. Would this even fit in my car? Look at this thing. It's all the way up to there. Oh, I have to try something with this thing. Like panfish or something. This would be hilarious. It doesn't come with a reel though. I got a spinning reel. I can make that work. Look at how long this rod is. So here's the butt. Like hitting everything in the store. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Definitely need to try to catch panfish with this. There's even like a weird, it's even got a strike indicator tip. Tip's like all metal. I really hope they have bluegill baits or something like that. This, I cannot come here and not buy a 14-foot pole. I have to challenge myself. Oh, and we might be in luck here. We might be able to catch some bass. We got a topwater bait, $17.99. That should go down to $9. That's good. I can catch bass on that. All these deep diving crankbaits. I'm gonna go fish ponds, so can't really catch pond bass on a deep diving crankbait in the middle of August. I should have zero problem catching bluegill, crappie, whatever panfish are going to be in these ponds with this lure, and I can't get over that rod. All right, so I got the bait. That's 9. That's 22. These are each going to be $1.50, so it's $3. So let me do some quick math here. I got like $33. Maybe some line. I'll get another crankbait. I'll get a crankbait. I'll try to catch bass on 2 different lures. So I got that little Rapala because it's a DT1. It's basically a wake bait, so it's going to stay on the surface. It's almost like a topwater because I'm sure these ponds are going to be full of weeds. And what else to say? I was going to get line. That should get me near $50.
Can I help you?
No, I'm good.
Can't take pictures.
I'm not taking pictures. I'm just filming a video.
Oh, pardon?
Just a YouTube video. I'm just filming a YouTube video.
You can't do it in the store?
Can't film in stores? Why not?
No. Yeah, not in the store you can't.
I've filmed in plenty of stores.
Not in this store.
I've been doing this for over a year.
Unfortunately, they do not want any kind of filming in this store.
Is that a new thing?
You'd have to get agreement from our corporate office.
Is that a new thing though? Because I've filmed in plenty of Gander Mountains.
Unfortunately,
you know, I'm actually done anyway. I'll just leave. Alright, I didn't know that. Thank you, sir. Okay. Well, I didn't know I couldn't film in their stores. That's a new one. I've filmed in countless outdoor stores. Didn't know that would be a problem. Maybe there was something about the liquidation factor, but I was pretty much done. It ended up being $46. So I got my 14-foot pole, got my panfish lures and line, and I got some bass lures. So now I'm gonna head to some ponds and test them out. Well, we just got to the first pond that I'm going to try, and that 14-foot pole did not exactly fit well in the car. I had to completely bend it right there, and it barely fit. So all we need is some cooperating fish now. Oh, there he is. First good cast on the pencil popper. Not a big one, but that's the first one of the day. Wow, did he choke that thing? This is, I gotta be careful because these hooks, this is like not a big bass at all. I was worried that this bait would be a little too big. Not the case. This is the size of fish that ate that bait. The bait is basically half as long as it. So obviously we won't have any issues getting smaller fish, or fish of all sizes, to bite that popper. All right, folks, now ask yourself real quick, what do you do when you see someone pull up to the pond with a rod like this? You can't even probably see the whole rod. This guy. All right, guys, though I don't know where I am in this part of the video. It's been 2 days since I filmed the first part of this video and went and actually got the lures, and then failed in my first attempt at catching fish with these lures. It is rare if I take more than 1 day to film a video, so this one was different though. I ran out of time. I started that too late in the day. Then the next day I went muskie fishing. The day after that I was with my high school fishing coach, and now it is Sunday and I'm going to succeed in this Gander Mountain Challenge. I gotta hit a bass pond first because I'm not done with that walking bait, and I gotta catch them on that crankbait. That one's not gonna be very easy. All right, so we'll see how this first pond goes. The only reason I'm hitting it is because it's literally like 2 minutes from my house, and I know it has some decent bass in it, so why not? So I can try to knock the bass lures out first. We already caught a fish on this, but since it's a new day, I feel like I have to run through the gamut again since I did only catch one fish. Using this evergreen pencil popper that was marked down from 18 to, I think, $8. And then this Rapala DT Fat, which is basically a wake bait. It's kind of big though, so I'm gonna start with this and then move on to this. Oh, there's bluegill everywhere right here, and like nice ones. I can totally catch a bluegill right here. They're all over this culvert. All right, well, we're coming back right here with the 14-footer. Even if I don't catch a bass here, this will be worth it for that bluegill. I will say, oh, that was a big bass. That was a big bass. Come on. I was just about to say, they love this thing. That was a big bass. I could have knocked this whole thing out at this one pond. I missed a small one, and then that big one tried to grab it. I really like this pencil bait. It was an $18 bait, so if I'm buying it for regular retail, I should like it. But it walks really well. It's really loud, too. Yes, finally. This is not the big one. There we go. First bass. Thank you, buddy. So this bait, big success, big score from Gander Mountain. That's really why I wanted to do this, because I know they have such incredible clearance sales right now that you could get some good baits. This was the only bait they had left, but for an $18 bait, I don't want to say it's worth it, but it's definitely a great walking bait. This is some expert shore fishing right here. If you don't have cutters, find a sharp rock. There we go. Cut your line really quick. All right, now this guy, the wake bait. I chose this as the other bait that I was gonna try to fish in these ponds because I know it's summertime. Most of these ponds are gonna look like this. They're gonna look really weedy. Wake baits are something you can effectively fish over almost any type of water because they only go maybe half a foot down. So if you have a bunch of submergent weeds in your pond, this is great to work over the weeds. Show you how this thing works in the water. I'm assuming it's gonna wobble. Oh yeah. See how that works? It's almost like a topwater bait because it wobbles really wide, stays really high in the water column. Hopefully these fish like it. Look at that thing come in. Well, I'm walking. Oh my God. Well, I think this pond gets fished. Come on, guys, put your garbage away. Keep this guy, but I'm walking to an area of the pond, this spot right here, where I can actually cast at areas that don't have weeds. I didn't realize that I lucked out. Both of these lures are pretty much topwater lures, and I've got great topwater conditions right now in the clouds, so hopefully it won't take too long for something to latch onto this wake bait. All right, so in the limited amount of area I have to fish this little wake bait, didn't catch one, so I'm gonna go get that big rod and knock out the giant telephone pole they call a fishing rod. Okay, I need to catch some bluegill to get this over with. The biggest reason I wanted to use this big rod is because I can actually see the benefit of it when you're trying to work things on the shoreline but not scare them. You can stay really far back with this long rod, but God, does it look stupid, especially when you're pond fishing. Okay, here's our little panfish jig. Please cooperate with me, bluegill. I can't do this without laughing, so I can't imagine how dumb I look. Why was it not first drop? Oh, one had it, okay. The problem is this rod is so noodly, I can't set the hook. I'm looking at them, they're hitting it the first drop every time, but I got no power. Oh my, they keep running away with it, not getting hooked. I don't know how to get them hooked. Am I really that dumb? Is this like not a bluegill panfish jig? I was for sure that I'd be able to catch bluegill on a 32nd ounce hair jig, but after a couple nips, they're just not hitting it. Like zero interest whatsoever. All right, you know what? The bluegill at this pond have teased and taunted me enough. I'll take it from muskies. I'll take it from the top apex predator. I'm not gonna take it from pond bluegill. I'm gonna go to a different pond to try to finish off with that wake bait and then attempt to catch a fish on that. Can't believe I couldn't catch one on that. Well guys, I'm about at the point of forfeiting this part of the challenge, the 14-foot pole with the little hair jig, because I've tried both the culverts at each of these two ponds. I've tried under the lily pads. I've gotten maybe 15, 20 bites. I can't hook them. Pan fishing is just not my thing. I needed the help of Leo Shang on this one. Well, looks like it's gonna get sunny out here very soon, so I'm gonna go to that wake bait before it gets too late to get on a good wake bait bite. Might seriously just give up on that. Maybe I'll keep it for some sort of bass challenge one day, but I gotta use this wake bait. I gotta admit, I have not fished a wake bait in a very, very, very long time. Definitely overlooked this bait. It's a very cool, basically a topwater. It just gives them a different look. I can't imagine the amount of frogs that have been thrown in here. This is a public park, it gets hammered. There's one. First couple seconds of reeling. Nice bass. Oh no, get out of the lily pads. Come on, please. Yes, he came out. No, no, no. Oh, yes. Okay. Finally, we got one on the wake bait. This guy sure is not picture material, but oh. Come on, you can make it. There he goes. Okay, was sure not picture material, but it is the first fish on the wake bait that I also purchased for, I believe, $3. Definitely a deal. I was kind of worried there that I would not get him out of the lily pads. All right, well, after that super hot canal, I walked all along this side, or most of it. A lot of this was just really thick sticker bushes and can't fish it. The other side of the pond is all thick sticker bushes and I also can't fish it. So I'm gonna give one more go at the freaking telephone pole with a hair jig and see if I can't get some panfish to complete this challenge, because I feel like I did a pretty good job catching fish with whatever Gander Mountain had left, but I need to get a panfish to put a little bow on the challenge. Well guys, just tried the third pond. I'm not a bluegill guy. I'm not a bluegill guy. So it's already 7 o'clock, I'm starving, gotta eat dinner. I'm giving up on the 14-foot rod and the bluegill. Could not complete the 14-foot rod and the hair jig part. Well, I don't know, I got like 20 bluegill bites, so I don't really know if I failed it. I think the rod was just too limp. But if anything came out of this video, I got a nice topwater bait for $8. It should have been almost a $20 bait, so that was good. I did this just because my buddy Jack told me he just like scored big time at the Gander Mountain near him. I was gonna go there and gonna make a challenge video with whatever they had left. I was really hoping they had frogs and a bunch of stuff so I could like get a whole rod and reel arsenal and really just smoke some fish on like some half off to 75% off stuff. But That was not the case at my Gander Mountain, probably because I live in such a big metro area. It got cleared out. But if any of you live in not so populated areas and live near Gander Mountains, go clean it out. They're clearing house. They've got like 75% off most of their stuff by now. They're trying to liquidate everything. Get there, get some cheap fishing products, and get out there and catch some fish on them.